Hello, welcome to TNM News in a nutshell. I'm Priyanka Thiramurthy and we bring you this news bulletin on top news in South India at 10:30 a.m. every morning and 6:30 p.m. every evening. So let's start with Tamil Nadu today. Of course, one important piece of news for people in Chennai is the fact that protests by Swiggy delivery executives are still underway. These executives started protesting on August 14, and this is the third day of their protest, and their demand has been that the incentives that have been rolled back due to the coronavirus have to be introduced again. They say that they were earning ₹1,000 before the lockdown began and per day, and now they are earning barely ₹100 after other costs are cut away from this. And basically Swiggy has told them that those who actually decide to come back will be given ₹1,000 a day as incentive, but they say that this is only a temporary fix and they want a more permanent solution to their protest to ensure that their rights are not compromised on. And the next piece of news from Tamil Nadu, of course, is that the AIADMK's West wing, led by Minister R.B. Uday Kumar, the Revenue Minister, has said that Madurai should be announced as the second capital of Tamil Nadu. This is of course the discussion that has been happening for over 9 years, and so the DMK has asked why suddenly bring this debate up again, why the need to contest that Madurai should be a capital. Yes, of course, Madurai becoming a capital will be beneficial to the city and will lead to decongestion in Chennai, but the question is whether this is basically another election agenda just ahead of the 2021 assembly election. So that is the political fight happening in Tamil Nadu as of now. In addition, of course, we know to the fact that the ongoing frictions between Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy and Deputy Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam. We had put out a news story yesterday about how Pannirselvam in the meeting had allegedly asked why he cannot be Chief Minister, considering that he has pretty much the same charisma as in EPS, and he also questioned why the fact that EPS was being promoted as the Chief Minister over him. And the next piece of news from Tamil Nadu would of course be the health of playback singer S.P. Balasubramaniam. His son has said that he is in a stable condition right now, critical of course, but is responding to treatment as of now. And in addition to this, superstar Rajinikanth had tweeted and put out a video today actually praying for SPB's good health and saying that he hopes he will come back to his regular normal self. But there is hope as far as SPB is concerned, with his son very positive about the way he is responding to treatment. And now I move on to Telangana, and the first piece of news from Telangana today is of course the fact that leader of opposition and former Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has written a letter to the Prime Minister saying that the YSRCP government is actually recording calls of opposition leaders, journalists, lawyers and anybody they think would be doing any activity against the government. And he has said that this is a huge violation of their privacy. And there is the fact that of course this piece of information actually came to fore. This piece of information actually came to fore because YSRCP rebel MP K. Raghurama Krishna Raju alleged on Sunday that 2 of his mobile phones were being illegally tapped for the past few months by state intelligence authorities. And now we move on to the pressing piece of news from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. The fact that there have been incessant rains in Telangana for the last 3 days, causing inundation and flooding in a lot of areas. In Andhra Pradesh too, West and East Godavari districts are seeing a lot of rain, and due to this there has been flooding in several areas. In Warangal, people have actually been removed from their houses and moved to makeshift temporary shelters. And in addition to this, there has been collapse of buildings across Telangana because of the rains, and at least a dozen people have been injured in these incidents. I now move on to Kerala. As far as Kerala is concerned, the leader of opposition Ramesh Chennithala has approached the Kerala High Court stating that the police collecting call data records of COVID-19 patients is an infringement of their privacy. He has filed a PIL on behalf of all patients who are both in hospitals and who are undergoing home quarantine. The police had actually put out this proposal saying they want to monitor the call data records to keep track of people and their movements in order to prevent further spread of the virus, but he has said that this simply cannot be allowed at this juncture. And in addition to this, as far as Kerala is concerned, 21 police personnel in Thiruvananthapuram have tested positive for coronavirus. and this is from different stations in the capital. Of course, we know that the Independence Day celebration happened only on August 15, and 14 policemen have further tested positive in the Varkala station. Varkala is of course a very popular tourist destination, and 6 personnel have tested positive in the cantonment station near the secretariat. And as of Monday, 342 policemen across the state have tested positive for the novel coronavirus, and 1 person has succumbed to the disease. And I move on to Karnataka now. As far as Karnataka is concerned, controversy came in the form of the hit movie KGF. Of course, Chapter 2 has been the source of controversy this time. There has been a PIL in court saying that Sanjay Dutt, actor Sanjay Dutt, who is accused in the Mumbai bomb blast case, he cannot be allowed to act in the movie because he is a bomb blast convict. But the court struck down the petition, the Karnataka High Court struck down the petition and said that, and the Karnataka High Court struck down the petition and said that a person who is convicted in a case and who has actually served the sentence should not, there is no rule that he or she cannot act in a film, and the petition has been dismissed. The second piece of news from Karnataka is that Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has announced that the state government will assess damages to the 2 police stations that were attacked a few days ago when SCPI had gone there to file a complaint. There was of course large scale vandalism where the station was where parts of the station were destroyed, CCTV cameras were completely demolished, and cars were set on fire. So the state government has said that they will assess the damages and make sure that the culprits are the ones who are actually paying for the damage. They are going to approach the Karnataka High Court to appoint a claims commissioner to carry out this task. So this is, as far as South India is concerned, this is the news for the day, the pressing news for the day. We will keep bringing you updates every day at 10:30 a.m. in the morning and 6:30 p.m. in the evening. And for now, this is Priyanka Tirumurthy reporting from Chennai for the News Minute.